aka the AMP. Today we have an awesome show because we have an amazing entrepreneur. My man here is an SEO consultant, for medium and large companies. He's a keynote speaker. He's an author, an entrepreneur. I mean, he's the founder of Why Stuff Sucks. I mean, what stuff? We're gonna find out. He also the owner of Loop King Laces and the Compelling Cars, a car rental company out there in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Oh my God, he's a possible cheesehead. Don't you worry, I think I still get along with him. The one, the only Mr. Miles Anthony Smith. How you doing?
Thank you for that warm introduction, Al. I'm doing great. And by the way, I'm not a cheesehead. I'm a Cowboys fan. So
even worse. Jeez.
Are you Eagles fan or Giants fan or something?
I'm a Giants fan. Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, sorry about
Folks,
that.
thank you for joining for the podcast. I think this is Miles and no, stop. But no, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. It's gonna be fun because you reached out and so you're doing some awesome stuff out there, and you're like, hey, can we chit chat with the audience and help them out too? And I was like, of course, because this is what we're here for. You're doing some great stuff. So before we get into all those topics of what you're doing, let's reel it back just a tad, if you will, and tell us a bit about yourself. Where are you originally from, and kind of what was the early inspiration in life that inspired you on this journey?
Yeah. So I was born in Indiana, spent a little bit of time in San Antonio as a little kid, then moved to Tulsa, Oklahoma, where I grew up most of my life. About 15 years ago, I moved to Green Bay. So been here and there and around. So early in my career, I spent in operations management, really cut my teeth there. Marketing was always a key part of that to drive sales. And over time, marketing and digital marketing, and then eventually SEO just got stronger, in terms of my career focus. And then eventually I left the marketing agency job that I had a few years ago and went on my own, hung out my consulting shingle, do SEO consulting. And then after that, I started another business, the rental car business. And after that, I bought a couple other e-commerce and software businesses. So the thread that runs through all of that really is that SEO and affiliate marketing that really drives all those businesses.
So when you started stepping into the world of SEO, was it something that was difficult or what?
Yeah, for sure. When in the early days, I was learning from other people, and I was at that time I was paying other consultants to help the companies I was running, and it was overwhelming, quite frankly, because there's so much to learn and know, and it's partly because it's so deep and so wide. I mean, there's just so much to know, and so many, if in this scenario you do this and that. So I've developed those skills over many years, and that's really why companies pay me to come in and consult and tailor a specific scenario to their situation, and then also help them prioritize which tasks should we do first that are going to get us the most impact for our effort.
Absolutely. Wonderful. When did you realize? Well, was there a magic moment when you said, okay, I have finally mastered this. This is when I need to set myself free. Was there a magic moment?
Yeah, that's a great question. So SEO has been a passion of mine for a long time, and that's because of its long-term nature. I'm just kind of a long game guy in terms of how I deal with business relationships. I'm not in it for the quick buck. I'm in it for the long term. So that's really why I was attracted to SEO. And I would just say, to become a master at it, you just have to do it for a lot of years with a lot of different scenarios and B2B and B2C. I feel like I'm at that point, but at the same time, I'm always learning. I mean, AI is a great example here with ChatGPT. You got to adapt and learn and grow with what's coming out.
Yeah. How do you feel about AI and its impact on how people use it now for SEO? Do you think that marketers like yourself that that use SEO are going to be in danger, or is AI still too stupid to do what you guys could do?
I would say junior level SEOs should be afraid. Senior level SEOs, I'm not afraid of that. I think there have been many iterations that Google has gone through over the years, and this is just another one they're going to adapt to. But people who don't adapt or stick to their old methods or something that maybe worked before and don't change, that's, those people should be worried, whether they're companies or consultants.
All right, so you know what? Well, I want to talk about that doom stuff. Yeah, we're gonna leave that for later. Let's get into some good stuff, right? Because we hear about income streams, making some money, teaching
Yeah,
people that lane, right? So, help us here and explain what APA income streams are and why they are important for website builders and digital entrepreneurs.
sure. APA just stands for three words: ads. So you're running ads on your website for people that come there, and you get paid to run those ads. P is for product. I would also add or service. You're selling a product or service that's yours, not just an ad for somebody else. And then affiliate link, which that would be for you're putting a link on your site, and when people click on that, it is somebody else's product or service. You get a percentage, commission of that sale when it sells. And really using all three of those as kind of your three-legged stool will give you diversity in your income streams and also just help amplify everything you do on that site. Because think about it, if you build more SEO traffic to that to your website and you have all three of those, you can monetize them at least one of those ways. At least you'll get an ad view out of them. If not, monetize them two or three ways for every single person that comes to you. So it just maximizes all the efforts you're going to do into building traffic and an audience to your website.
Would you say, being that I'm a website, is there a rule of thumb for affiliate links in a article or a post?
Like a certain number of them? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Not necessarily. I mean, it's like, people ask me about writing. How long should the article be or the product page? Well, long enough to cover the subject and short enough to keep interest. So you're always thinking about the user in this case, the specific number of links. Certainly look at your competitor pages if you have a specific keyword you're targeting for that page, a primary keyword, look at the other people that are ranking for that and see what they're doing. And you'll get a sense of what's working, because if they're in the first page of Google, the top 10 results, they're probably doing something right. And you want to emulate them as well as add your own unique perspective to the topic.
Of course. Love it. So talk about some practical strategies for diversifying income streams on that website to incorporate the APA model. So you're talking about those different streams, right? So, how can we incorporate them? What's a great way for someone, that's just a novice, if you will?
Yeah. No, it's a great question. I think of it in terms of priorities. And some of this depends on how much of an audience you already have. Maybe you already have an email list, but you're building out a website. Or if you're just starting out, the main thing is you want to try to generate income the fastest. And the reason is not just because we're greedy, it's because that more income, more revenue sooner helps us then invest in other things to keep things going. That's why most businesses fail, because they go after lots of different things. Some things hit, but they're not really focused on what's going to give me the most revenue and income right up front. And so I would say most likely products or services. So even if you don't have something, you can use Alibaba or source things from China, where you can create a product relatively easily and then start selling that. I would certainly put ads really close to that in priority. That depends on if you already have a bunch of traffic coming to your site. If you do, you want to put ads on there right away, because that's a way, as soon as people hit that page, you're going to get money from those ads. And by the way, I would recommend Ezoic. And then I would do affiliate links last, not because they're bad or they should be way down the list, but they're going to take time, and you're going to have to build those links, and you only get a percentage of that sale. So
a very small percentage.
it takes time. So definitely try to lead with product or service, then ads. Those are probably a close 1 and 2, and then affiliates are third. So just in terms of that, generating income first, and I can't overstate that enough. Make sure that when you're building a new site or you're trying to grow a business, always ask yourself, what is the thing that's going to generate me the revenue the fastest, so that I can invest in these other things and build more income streams? Because if you don't, you might be dead before you even get started.
All right, so let's flip that a bit then. So what are the common challenges, or rather pitfalls, that some website owners might face when they're trying to establish APA, and how can they overcome them?
Yeah, I think the biggest one is, it's just so overwhelming. Even SEO, if you're going to do SEO and you're going to build out lots of content pages, maybe product and service pages, and it's just daunting, right? You hear that, we need to create hundreds or thousands of pages so that Google will pay attention to you as an authority. And there's definitely some truth to that. You also need to, generally speaking, especially if you're starting out, get quality backlinks, other people's reputable, authoritative, relevant sites to link to your pages. And that can take time and effort to actually get those things done. So that's probably the biggest thing. Is there's so many things, and it's really a matter of what do I focus on, again, that's going to help me generate income sooner. That might not be SEO in the beginning. You might need to use ads or email or other methods to help drive people in the short term, while you're building some of those longer term things are going to pay off much better, but it's going to take a longer time.
Hence the importance of folks like yourself to help these poor business owners not feel the stress.
Well, and I think some of that is just,
oh my God, yeah, bro. Trying to, I can't imagine a person that knows nothing hearing you right now. Like, oh my God, yeah. How much?
Well, I know this. I was where you were at some point, and where other people are right now. So at some point back in my, in my past, I was where they are. So it took me time to get to this place. The important thing is to focus on the journey, not trying to get to the destination. And I know that's hard for a lot of us, me included. I want to get there now. We're successful, are consistent and persistent day after day, year after year, over and over and over, and they finally build momentum. Yeah. Most people just give up way too soon, or maybe even on the cusp of a breakthrough.
On the cusp. That's where I've seen it most. On the cusp. Like, why did you stop so close? Right. Well,
and it's not that you can't quit things or that you shouldn't take stock and say, you know what, I need to move on to something else. If you have something else that is truly worthwhile and a very high likelihood of success, you don't have that, you probably need to focus and continue to build on the, the momentum that you already have, even if it's slower.
Okay. So you mentioned Ezoic as one earlier, and so, are there any specific tools or technologies that could, to enhance the maximizing of the APA income model for websites?
Yeah, for ads, Ezoic is at the top of my list. There are some others as well, but usually Ezoic is a good place to start when you're smaller and you're growing your revenue. For ads, for affiliate links, if you have a WordPress site, a tool that I have is called Amalinks Pro. I recommend that. It helps you visualize all of those Amazon links and pulls in images and titles and stuff right from Amazon's API and drops that in your website page.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Makes it easy peasy.
It does. And I use it on all of my sites. It certainly helped not only visualize those for people, so they have comparison tables, showcase boxes, different ways to help people make those decisions. But ultimately, it helps the user, but it helps me because it helps me convert more of those people to sales, which gives me commissions.
And there's the website right here, folks. Check it out. The link is below. Featured in a whole bunch of.
Yeah, a lot of other sites use us and love us.
I love that. And look, folks. For a lot of you folks that are afraid of technology, no coding required. Right? It makes your life easy. Look for those keywords if you want to be easy peasy. This is what Miles is here to do for us. Add our service to make it easy. He has a quick demo. You already heard what it can do. So check out the link below. Check out this wonderful website. This is where it's at. Especially if, you need to make money. We have websites. You want to help others, but in order to help others, we also need to make some bread too, I think.
Absolutely. That's why why we built the tool, was to help other people generate more, or generate more commissions from those Amazon affiliate links. So, and then lastly, on the product and service front, that really, it typically, if it's a product, if it's a physical product, sourcing that probably through Alibaba or somewhere in China is, or other countries, is often the case. Product related to your niche, and then could be a digital product as well, like a PDF or an ebook or something. Those are relatively easy to create. And then I would just say, don't forget about, for a product, a physical or digital product, don't forget about marketplaces. So whenever I start a new niche, I create a product and I don't put it on my website first. I put it on Amazon.com or Walmart.com or Etsy, some of these other platforms that already have people searching for something like that. Okay. And I just have to get in front of them with a good product and some reviews. So that goes back to that income first. Most people would build out an e-commerce website and try to get people to come there.
Yeah, but they can't get there. They never heard of them before. So I see what you're doing. Yeah, I love it.
Get your product, get it on somebody else's marketplace where there's already demand. Then you get some income coming in. Then you can build your website.
I love it. I love that. I love that idea. You got my brain working on something now. I'm cooking something. All right. So that's some good stuff. We were talking about AI before, right? And there was a topic you sent over, and I was like, okay, I think we can ask some questions here. Which is surviving the technological apocalypse and leveraging it to your advantage, right? Because again, everybody's talking doom and gloom every day. There's a new tech, a new robot, there's a new AI. There's something going on, and people scared to death. Terminator was trending the other day all over the socials. Yet once again, Skynet. So when you talk about those technological apocalypse, what do you mean by that, and how can individuals and businesses prepare for it?
Yeah, well, I think that starts with mindset. Success in business does begin with mindset. And if we don't have our minds right and thinking the correct way and positively, it won't matter, because our negative thoughts will undo some of the things we're trying to do in our business, and we won't be successful. So without that sounding like it's just all about positive talk, it's not. But there is an element of understanding and focusing our mind on the positives of the situations that we're in. So with AI, for example, ChatGPT or other things, a lot of writers are freaking out, and I don't think we should stick our head in the sand and ignore it. If you're a writer, you certainly want to pay attention, but figure out how you can use ChatGPT with human oversight to generate even better articles or more articles that are still, good from a user experience. So for me, I always try to remind myself, especially when there's negative things in the media or things going on in my business, sometimes I talk to myself and remind myself of the positive things, and that I can only control what I can control, and I can't worry about other things that I can't control, but I can do some things to improve my situation, to learn, to grow, to get other information from other people, solicit that from other smart people that are successful, to help me level up and help me keep my mind focused on the positive direction that I need to go, not all the negative stuff.
Gotcha. And in the face of this technological advancement, how can a business leverage these changes, right, to gain a competitive edge and thrive?
That's really the name of the game. With all of these changes comes opportunities, and it is scary. There are times where I'm freaked out at times, but
are we all?
I always come back to, in the time of great trouble, whether it's been world wars or just other wars or depressions, that sort of thing, there is always opportunities, always. And we need to focus our mind and our attention on those and not as much on the negative. And it's easy to get caught up in that, but if we allow ourselves to, then we'll miss those opportunities. And there are truly, I'm not just being overly positive here, there really are some great opportunities, especially with AI. Like in my businesses, I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying you're not lying. There's tons of opportunities in AI. I've been digging into it for the past year and learning and messing with it. I'm like, wow, there's so much positive that they don't talk about, unfortunately.
Yeah. It's helped me do market research faster, or come up with new product ideas faster because I can feed that into ChatGPT and it can sort some things through for me and I can just get there faster. It helps me on the writing side. I don't just use it ChatGPT wholesale, but I use parts of it to help generate headlines and titles and various parts of pages that just help me move faster, help my team move faster to creating more pages. Now, I'm always thinking about the user experience, and ChatGPT is not the best if you just use it right out of the box, and create an article. But if we use that and then we can add to it and improve it, it's just going to help us create more pages faster, which is going to give us a leg up on the competitor from an SEO standpoint. Also, shows Google that we're more authoritative on the broader topic. If we can generate more pages and more articles about that specific topic, and just go faster than a lot of our competitors will be able to.
Do the DA scores still matter? Those domain authority scores, since you mentioned authority?
Yeah, so it's a balancing act, quality and quantity. I'm in my own businesses and in my consulting with other companies, I'm always about quality first and foremost. That said, sometimes there are situations where there are a lot of keywords and pages that we can rank a lot easier. And so if we find, and that doesn't happen all the time, but sometimes it does. If we find those opportunities, you can generate a significantly large amount of articles around a really deep topic, where you can rank those pages with with lower number of quality backlinks and external links pointing to those pages. So backlinks are still important because that'll only get you so far. If you just do generate a bunch of articles, at some point you're going to have to work on getting some of those backlinks. But there can be situations where initially you can get a certain amount of traffic by that scale option.
Okay, back. I love this. I'm learning a lot. Thank you. So, are there going to be any specific industries or sectors that you think are going to be more susceptible to the disruption during this technological apocalypse? And and what can they do now to adapt? Being that they are the weakest.
I think the danger. I don't know that there's any specific industry, but I think the danger is maybe in certain industries, maybe a B2B, maybe it's manufacturing or something that tends to not be as forward thinking with digital marketing or technological change online, especially. But I think that's a mistake. And manufacturing is just an example. It can happen in other places. And I think if we don't take the opportunity to learn and grow now, sooner, there'll be somebody in our industry that will figure it out. And before long, they'll be way ahead of us. And either they'll be so far ahead that we won't be able to catch up, or it'll just take a really long time. So that's just the danger I see that could be in many industries.
That was my next question. Do you see any companies or persons now that have successfully turned this disruption, if you will, into an opportunity for growth and innovation?
Yeah, there are several different media sites and publishers. I don't remember the names off the top of my head, but these and just a reminder, they're not just taking ChatGPT and creating an article and slapping it up, but they are leveraging ChatGPT to scale up faster, more articles. There are several media and publisher sites where they are getting rewarded by Google because at the end of the day, websites to some extent is an arms race, meaning I don't want to give the impression that just quantity, but quality and quantity. So if you just do quality, that'll get you a certain level. If you just do quantity, that's not going to help you, especially these days. But if you do, a high quantity of a lot of quality, that's going to get you much further. So some of these sites are thousands, if not tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of pages, and they have so much authority on that topic that Google recognizes because it's been built up over many years. That just goes back to the long game. And I know that seems overwhelming, but I can assure you that I have built my own companies and helped other businesses grow over the long term. So just start where you're at, build that authority, and grow it over time. And if you stick with it, it will be a tremendous asset, an exponential producing asset, but most people never get there. And that's usually 5, 10, 15 years down the road. And that's why most people quit.
And that's why I love telling people, no one's an overnight success. You just didn't hear them because they've been locked in the basement working to get to that point.
That's right.
You know, I love it. All right, so I've been showing this name off. Why Stuff Sucks. I love the name. Yeah, and there's so many things that you could always definitely ask that question about. So tell us, what is Why Stuff Sucks?
Yeah, so it's a company that I started. I've written several books on the topic. One is Why Leadership Sucks, Why Career Advice Sucks. And the reality is there's a lot of stuff in business and career that does suck. And especially with technology moving faster and faster these days. And that's hard. That's hard on all of us. I mean, it's why I don't have as many hairs and I got more gray in my beard. But
I think I got you beat on the grays.
Right. Okay. But it goes back to what I said before. There is hope. There is always opportunity. And most of the time that is through linking arms with other people like you, Al, or other people that I meet or you meet that give you some piece of advice or wisdom to help further what you're trying to do and carry you further down the road. And it's keeping our focus and eyes on that will help us be successful over the long term. Because let's face it, we can't do this alone. We will only have a certain level of success. And beyond that, it won't be as much fun because it's so much more enjoyable to help other people win and you win in the process. So that goes back to the long game and the nature of relationships and trying to help other people, pull people up, as well as you looking to other people that can help pull you up and grow you and challenge you and help you get to the next level.
Yeah, the term "it takes a village" does not only apply to children.
That's right. It's right. And we're all at different stages, and if we just help each other as we can, it just makes the journey that much more enjoyable.
It does, especially when we have the website. That's how you found me, through the podcast, through a website. And okay, you reached out, and then here we are talking, and I'm like, wow, about how awesome, inspiring. We got to pick up those books. So obviously they're available everywhere, I'm assuming, right?
They are.
Yep. Awesome. In print. Are you doing any type of tours, or since you also are a speaker, are you going to be speaking anywhere soon where we could maybe catch you in person?
Not right now. I don't have any on the docket, but I'm really focused on a number of other projects right now. So that goes back to that focus thing. And for entrepreneurs, it's easy to get distracted with too many things. So there's some things I need to focus on and grow so that I can get back to doing more of that.
Oh, excellent. I can't wait. So is there any new books coming out? Is that what you're working on? Like, what's popping? What's the last book that you created that we could get that hot off the presses? What's up?
Yeah, so don't have any books I'm working on right now. I have Why Leadership Sucks. There's actually 2 volumes. It sucks so much that I had to write 2 volumes of it.
Yeah, to let it all out. All right.
So you can get either one of those or both. And then the Why Career Advice Sucks, and how really to manage your career in the midst of all this change.
Wonderful. I'm digging it. Folks, I've been sharing it, and the links will be below in the notes as well. You can follow Miles on Instagram and TikTok at Why Stuff Sucks. You can also check out the website right there. It's going to help your website make some bank. AMALinksPro.com. Then, of course, you can also follow my man Miles up on LinkedIn for that seriousness and his shorts over there where he's talking stuff all suited up. You know what I mean? I see you. I'm seeing you, brother. You're doing your thing. Thank you for sharing of yourself and of your knowledge, and helping others. That's amazing. We need more people like you, doing some good work and producing this. And everybody wins. Everybody could eat. I always say, and you're definitely a prime example of showing how everybody could eat through those wonderful programs that you created.
Thank you, Al. I appreciate that, and thanks for having me on the show and the part that you play in that journey as well.
No, I appreciate you, folks. You know what it is. Please follow the links below. Please subscribe. Turn on notifications for the app. Also check out ComicCrusaders.com and UndercoverCapes.com. For everything that you love in pop culture, we cover it all right? Thank you again. You better stay motivated. Hasta la próxima. Huepa.